Imagine the shockwaves across the auto industry when a CEO steps on stage and confirms that their most secretive, most talked about engine isn't just a rumor. It's real. That's exactly what Mercedes has done. The company has finally revealed that the YASA Flux engine exists. An engine once whispered about in hushed tones is now front and center. And this isn't just any motor. Early reports claim it's so powerful, so radically different that giants like Tesla, BYD, and Toyota could soon be losing sleep. If this engine makes its way into production cars, the entire game, petrol, diesel, and even today's electric batteries, could be flipped on its head.
But the big question remains, what makes this engine so special? Is it truly the game changer the industry has been waiting for? Or is it just another flashy promise destined to fade away? And if it really delivers, could Tesla's EV dominance finally be under threat? One thing is certain, revolutions in car tech do not just appear overnight. They are born from years of research, hidden experiments, and carefully guarded strategies. The YASA Flux engine is no different.
Many assume it surfaced suddenly, but in reality, Mercedes has been quietly working on it for years out of the spotlight with no grand claims, no hype, just relentless work behind the scenes. That silence was all part of Mercedes's master plan.
Let's rewind. Between 2010 and 2015, the EV wave exploded, and Tesla proved with its early models that electric cars were not just the future, they were already here. Mercedes, watching closely, knew one thing. If they wanted to stay relevant, betting only on batteries was not enough. They had to reinvent the motor itself.
That is when their eyes landed on a small but brilliant British company, YASA. This startup was already experimenting with axial-flux motors, and their early prototypes hinted at a technology that could completely reshape the industry. Mercedes saw the potential, stepped in with support, and by 2019 they took full control of YASA.
That move laid the foundation for what is now being called one of the most disruptive engines in modern automotive history. From the outside, it looked like a simple business deal, but in reality, this was the step that laid the foundation of the YASA Flux engine. Mercedes poured millions of dollars into the project, gave YASA full funding, and put hundreds of engineers to work day and night. Over the past decade, this quiet partnership transformed into one of Mercedes' boldest innovations. The company kept the project so secret that even industry experts had no clue. People assumed Mercedes was just focused on luxury EVs, but behind closed doors, they were building an engine that could shift the direction of the auto industry.
The second big factor in this master plan was timing. Mercedes never rushed to launch the technology. They knew that if they released an incomplete or weak product, companies like Tesla or BYD would ridicule it immediately. So, they tested it thoroughly. Thousands of hours of driving, simulations, experiments in every condition, until they were fully confident. Only then did they announce it to the world.
This move shows how much Mercedes has learned from Tesla. Tesla enters the market with a lot of noise, but Mercedes kept quiet, waited for the right moment, and then struck. This is their master plan. Say less, do more.
So, what is the YASA Flux engine? Think about it. Whenever we talk about cars, the first thing that comes to mind is the engine. Once petrol and diesel ruled the roads, then the era of electric cars took over. But today, the name making the most headlines is the YASA Flux engine. Mercedes has revealed it, and discussions about it are spreading all over the world. But what exactly is this engine, and why is it considered so special? Let's break it down in the simplest terms possible. YASA is a British company that originally developed this engine technology before Mercedes took it under its wing. And, flux simply means magnetic flow. Now understand this. Electric motors work on the interaction of electricity and magnets. Normal electric motors, which we call permanent magnet or induction motors, are thick and bulky. They take up more space and weigh a lot more. But the magic of the YASA Flux engine is that it is very small, lightweight, and extremely powerful. Its design is called axial-flux. Now, what does axial-flux mean? Let's put it in simple words. A normal motor rotates like a cylinder, while an axial-flux motor rotates like a flat disc. In other words, instead of being a thick cylinder, this motor is like a thin, round plate. The same question is being raised today about Mercedes's YASA Flux engine. From the information that has come out so far, it is clear that the Flux engine will currently be installed only in luxury and high-performance cars. The biggest reason for this is its initial cost. Being a new technology, its production cost is high and companies would like to install it first in those vehicles where the price is already high. But this does not mean that it will always be expensive. As mass production begins and, the research cost is recovered, this engine can also reach affordable cars. Now, let's talk about the challenges of manufacturing. The design of the Flux engine is as unique as it is difficult to make. Companies have been manufacturing ordinary motors for decades, but the production of an axial flux motor is completely new. It requires very precise magnets and coils, and honestly, it is not easy to connect and balance these machines. Mercedes may have the technology, but if it has to be installed in, lakhs of vehicles, then it will have to prepare for mass production. This is the biggest challenge. Along with this comes the stress of raw materials and supply chain. Flux engines require rare earth elements such as neodymium magnets. Their supply is already limited to China and a few countries. If the demand for flux engines increases, the shortage of these metals may grow further. This will increase prices and put pressure on companies. To deal with this problem, Mercedes will have to find new suppliers and perhaps also pay more attention to recycling technology. The true measure of the YASA Flux engine's success will extend beyond raw power and efficiency metrics. It will be determined by its integration into the holistic vehicle ecosystem. For instance, its compact size and lightweight nature offer automotive designers, unprecedented flexibility. This could lead to more spacious interiors, innovative vehicle architectures with better weight distribution, or even the creation of new storage spaces famously referred to as frunks in electric vehicles, that are, honestly, larger and more practical. The reduced weight of the motor itself also contributes directly to increased vehicle range, as less energy is required to propel a lighter car, creating a virtuous cycle of efficiency. Furthermore, the potential applications of this technology reach far beyond passenger cars. The axial flux design could be revolutionary for aviation, particularly in the emerging field of electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, where weight and power density are, absolutely paramount. In marine propulsion, it could lead to more efficient and powerful electric boat motors. Even industrial applications, such as advanced robotics and manufacturing equipment, could be transformed by the high torque and rapid response characteristics of this motor design. However, the path to this electrified future is not without its significant hurdles. As Mercedes scales production, it will face the immense challenge of manufacturing consistency. The precision required to produce the delicate balance of magnets and coils in an axial flux motor at a mass scale is, honestly, a formidable engineering feat. Any minor defect could lead to inefficiencies or failures, potentially damaging the technology's reputation before it even has a chance to become mainstream. This is where Mercedes's decades of manufacturing expertise will be put to the ultimate test, balancing the bleeding-edge innovation of YASA with the rigorous quality control the brand is known for. The conversation also inevitably turns to the competition. Tesla, with its relentless focus on vertical integration and software-defined vehicles, is unlikely to stand still. Other industry giants like Volkswagen Group and Hyundai Motor Group, along with Chinese powerhouses like BYD, are pouring billions into their own next-generation motor and battery research. The revelation of the YASA Flux engine may well act as a catalyst, accelerating rival development projects and, honestly, igniting a new arms race in electric motor technology that could benefit consumers through faster innovation and more choices. Ultimately, the story of the YASA Flux engine is a testament to a shifting paradigm in the automotive world. It demonstrates that the future of electric mobility is not solely about who can build the biggest battery, but about a more sophisticated, holistic optimization of every component. It is a story of silent, long-term strategy triumphing over immediate hype, of a legacy automaker leveraging its resources to master a core technology that could define the next chapter of transportation. Whether it becomes the universal standard or inspires an even better solution, the YASA Flux engine has already succeeded in changing the conversation and proving that there is still immense room for revolution under the hood. So, now, the question arises, when and how will the YASA Flux engine actually arrive in future cars? Well, Mercedes is currently preparing to bring it into its luxury sports cars and those high-performance models. Flux engines can be included in vehicles like their AMG series too. One big advantage in SUVs is that despite being a heavy vehicle, the Flux engine will provide more torque and more power, making the driving experience of the SUV even more fun, honestly. At the same time, the use of flux engines in sports cars will make them capable of competing with vehicles like Tesla's Model S Plaid.
Flux engines can also bring a big change in trucks and commercial vehicles. Heavy vehicles need more power and torque. Flux engines deliver more power despite being lighter, which means that electric trucks and buses will hit the roads with more range and power than before.
If we look at the picture, after 2030, the flux engine can become the new standard of the EV industry. Just like today, every company uses lithium-ion batteries in its cars. In the coming time, every company could move towards motor technology like flux. It is possible that in the coming 7 to 8 years, this technology will become so common that even cheap electric cars will start getting flux engines.
But here a big question arises. Is this really the future of the EV industry or just another corporate promise? The history of the auto industry shows that many times companies talk big, but their technology does not turn out to be as effective once it enters production and the market. The real test of the flux engine will also be when it is fitted in the vehicles of everyday customers and runs on the roads.
So, now the decision is yours. Do you believe that the flux engine will really change the future of electric vehicles, or will it fade away like other technologies in a few years? What is your opinion? Tell us in the comments. And yes, thanks for staying till the end of the video. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel to see such amazing and true stories.